Hello everyone. Now as you know, Michael Jordan fans are the worst sports fans of all time. And one of the many reasons why is because these people really believe that Michael Jordan had the number one desire to win, the number one will to win, the number one drive to win, that he had a psychotic desire to win, that he wanted to win more than anyone else, that he did more than anyone else to try to win, that he worked harder to win more than anyone else, that he did whatever it took to win, that he sacrificed more than anyone else to win, that he didn't care about his statistics more than winning, that he had the number one killer instinct in the history of sports when it came to winning, that he took things personal when it came to winning, that he knew how to win more than anyone else in the history of sports. And I could give you more examples, but you get the point. Now, I am going to explain to you why all this is ridiculous. Here are the reasons why, in no particular order. First, they are disrespecting all of the other NBA people. Next, they are dismissing all of the other NBA people. Next, when they claim to respect the game and then they disrespect the game, they are contradicting themselves. Next, when they claim to love the game and then they dismiss the game, they are contradicting themselves. Next, Michael Jordan fans have a history of always trying to find a way to make Michael Jordan the number one NBA player of all time. So that right there shows you that they're not reliable. Next, understand why Michael Jordan fans are saying this. It's because they're just trying to find a way to make Michael Jordan the number one NBA player of all time. So that right there shows you that they're not reliable. Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of the players that Michael Jordan played with don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of the players that Michael Jordan played against don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of the owners, general managers, coaches, and other NBA people that Michael Jordan played for don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of NBA Hall of Famers, lots of NBA legends, lots of NBA scouts, and lots of NBA experts don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that Michael Jordan doesn't agree with them? Next, since lots of these people don't agree with them, why do Michael Jordan fans sometimes reference one or more of these people for one or more topics? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that usually the only people who think this are Michael Jordan fans? Next, if this was the other way around and they were an NBA Hall of Famer or some other NBA person and they found out that there was a younger NBA fan who wasn't there when they played, who doesn't have that much tape of them, who isn't an expert on the past NBA and so on, and they found out that this younger NBA fan said this thing, they wouldn't agree with that fan. Next, if some non-Michael Jordan fan said this thing and it went against Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan fans wouldn't agree with that non-Michael Jordan fan. Next, Michael Jordan fans have a contradiction. They always ask people who disagree with them if they were there when Michael Jordan played, if they went to his games, if they saw his games live on TV, and so on. And yet, they don't ask themselves these same type of questions when it comes to lots of other NBA Hall of Famers. If they did, they would know that it would go against them, and they wouldn't come to this kind of conclusion. Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this kind of thing for some other NBA players? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this kind of thing for some other players who played other sports? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this kind of thing for some other people and some other things when it comes to other things outside of sports? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this when it comes to who they rank as the number 2 NBA player of all time and the number 3 NBA player of all time and the number 4 NBA player of all time and so on? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this when it comes to who they rank as the number 1 player and the number 2 player and the number 3 player and so on when it comes to other sports? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't say this when it comes to the number 1 person or the number 1 thing or the number 2 person or the number 2 thing or the number 3 person or the number 3 thing and so on when it comes to other things outside of sports? Next, an NBA player can dominate this game, be above average, be average, or anything else, no matter how much of a desire they have to win. Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of other people have said this about another NBA player or other NBA players? Next, I want you to think about something logical. Is it logical to assume that Michael Jordan had the number one desire to win? Next, usually Michael Jordan fans are not doctors or scientists. So why are they acting like they know for sure that all these things are factually true? Next. Now, even if some Michael Jordan fans were doctors or scientists, what kind of a doctor or scientist would act like all these things are factually true? Next. Now, whether Michael Jordan fans are doctors or scientists or not, how would any Michael Jordan fan know that all these things are factually true when they don't personally know the personality of Michael Jordan? Next. Now, whether Michael Jordan fans are doctors or scientists or not, how would Michael Jordan fans know that all these things are factually true when they don't personally know the personality of every NBA star who was ever in the NBA? Next. These labels that they're giving Michael Jordan, they can give these labels to lots of other NBA stars. Next. You know, one of the reasons Michael Jordan fans give these labels to Michael Jordan is because they think one guy wins. They think one guy wins the NBA Finals, and they think Michael Jordan won by himself, and Michael Jordan won the NBA Finals by himself. So that's one of the reasons they give these labels to Jordan. But if they're going to do that routine, Jordan lost. Next. And Jordan lost lots of times. Next. And there are other NBA stars who won more than Jordan. Next. And there are other NBA stars who didn't lose as much as Jordan. So why are they giving these labels to Michael Jordan? Why don't they give these labels to other NBA stars? Next. Michael Jordan feared some players. He was worried about some players. He wanted to avoid some players. He preferred other players. Next. And Michael Jordan feared some teams. He was worried about some teams. He wanted to avoid some teams, and he preferred other teams. These are not knocks against Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is a human being. But if these things are true, why are Michael Jordan fans giving these labels to Michael Jordan? Next. Michael Jordan cared about his stats, which is not a knock against him. He's a human being. But if Michael Jordan really had these labels about him, you know, wanting to win so much, caring to win so much, desire to win so much, an almost psychotic desire to win, he wouldn't care as much about his stats. He wouldn't care as much about making sure he had certain stats. Next. Michael Jordan was once at the All-Star Weekend in the three-point shooting contest, and he didn't do as well. So first of all, if he really wanted to win and had a desire to win, a psychotic desire to win, and just wanted to win so much, why didn't he win that? Next. But okay, that doesn't prove anything. That's just one time. If he really wanted to win and had a desire to win and really wanted to show everyone that he would win and had an almost psychotic desire to win, he would have came back and tried to win another time, another season. But he didn't. He would have tried to show everyone, hey, I can win this, but he didn't. He would have showed everyone that was one time and he can win this, but he didn't. He would have came back and tried to show everyone that he can do better than that one time, but he didn't. Why? What happened? Next. Use common sense. Do you really think, just as a human being, Michael Jordan's a human being, so you don't think that he ever had fears of another player or worries of another player or wanted to avoid another player or preferred another player? You don't think he ever had fears of another team or worries of another team or wanted to avoid another team or preferred another team? Next. If Michael Jordan really just wanted to win and had the biggest desire to win and just wanted to show everyone he could win and had a psychotic desire to win, he wouldn't worry about trying to put a good team together. He would just play with what he has and try to win it. Next. In fact, he would try to win with the least amount of talent. Not with more talent, with the least amount of talent, to show everyone that, man, he just can win even with the least amount of talent. Next. He wouldn't try to get players partly because he was trying to stop other teams from getting those players. Next. When he retired more than once, he could still play. He was in his prime. If he really wanted to win, he would keep trying to win. If he really had such a psychotic desire to win, he would keep trying to win. If he really had a desire to win, he would keep trying to win. If he wanted to just, win at all costs or whatever, he wouldn't leave. Next. When he retired the first time, I don't know why he retired, but one of the reasons he retired, he explained, was because he was burnt out. And I guess he wanted to take a break and leave. Why would he do those things if he really wants to win? Next. Michael Jordan, he was in the dunk contest and, he beat Dominique Wilkins. Now, if he really wanted to win and he just wanted to show everyone that he wants to win, why wouldn't he come back in the dunk contest? Especially when some people question that if he really won or if Dominique Wilkins should have won. Some people thought Dominique Wilkins should have won. Actually, lots of people thought Dominique Wilkins should have won. Next, there is no fact to prove that Michael Jordan had the #1 desire to win in the history of sports. Hey, please subscribe. And if you disagree with me on something, you can go on my program and show me your facts on whatever you disagree on. If you want to go on, let's set it up. Send me an email. The email is right there in the description section. Thank you.